one of the things that I think comes up occasionally with so many people who've never been involved in politics before now being involved in campaigns is that, a lot of us don't know a lot about how elections work and how election financing works. And so I noticed that you had several lawyers on your initial founding group. Is that something that you guys look closely at, sort of the legal issues behind working with campaigns and fundraising for campaigns?
Yes, of course. I mean, none of us are election lawyers. I'm a bioethics lawyer. I don't know anything about election law. But of course, we bring a very compliance-focused orientation towards our organization. But, for really the first time in my life, I have a lawyer. So now I see how all those years with my own clients, how they felt about me. Now that I have my own legal team, I'm on the other side of the looking glass or whatever. So, yeah, of course. I mean, it's a very complicated set of laws and regulations and advisory opinions. And since we're at the state legislative level, each state is different, and they're all really different. The laws are really different in each state. And so it's definitely, a big part of particularly our executive director's job, but all of us really to make sure we understand what we can and can't do and say, and the restrictions on fundraising and disclaimers and all that fun stuff. But we try to, we try to streamline as much of that as we can for our team.
So another thing that I noticed was a list of ally organizations. And, I think that that's one of the things that's been so terrific, but also a little confusing in the wake of the 2016 election is just how many organizations have sprung up to support candidates and get out the vote efforts and sort of general civic mindedness. So how do you work with some of these other organizations that are doing similar kind of work?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's such a vibrant community of groups and existing, legacy organizations and new organizations that are all focused on elections right now. And so, I have really great relationships with a lot of the political directors at our allied organizations. We talk all the time about different candidates that we might support and, keep each other updated about what's going on the ground in various places. And so that's really great. We have, I think that I think what we found last year was there was a lot of concern in Virginia that there were too many groups and, everybody was going to be stepping all over each other, because there was just so much energy in Virginia. But what we found was on the ground, the volunteers are, they're part of lots of organizations, right? I mean, our volunteers are also members of indivisible groups or Together We Will, and so on the ground, it all kind of works out because they're all the same people. And that's really great. I think that's really good. And so that's the other thing I'd say is that our teams have tons of partnerships at the local level. We have teams that are indivisible teams. I mean, they call themselves Sister District and Indivisible, or, we have joint teams between Together We Will and Sister District. We have partnerships with local swing left groups to work in areas where we have nested state races, nested in swing congressionals. So on the ground, there's really a really nice set of collaborations that are happening, and we're happy to facilitate those at the national level. But the truth is that it's really the teams on the ground and the folks on the ground that have the relationships that they need with other people in their local communities to forge those partnerships and get some really great work done together. So I think that it's working really well, and we absolutely encourage our teams to collaborate with other groups, to have this crossover between organizations and elections that folks are working on, and it's an all hands on deck situation. And as far as we're concerned, we're really excited to see all the 1,000 flowers blooming, so to speak.
And so if our listeners have been sitting here going, all right, great, I'm excited, I want to get involved, how do they go about getting involved?
So if you go to sisterdistrict.com and you sign up, when you sign up, our amazing technology will route you based on your zip code to your local team, and you'll get a follow-up email from your district captain, who is the lead in your area for Sister District, and get you onboarded into the events and activities and opportunities to get involved that the local team has going. And then you'll also get occasional emails from me and my co-founders on sort of bigger developments. But a lot of the work is really at the team level, and our local teams send out their own emails about their, the local partnerships that they have going and various opportunities and all the rest. So when you join Sister District, you're certainly joining our national organization, but you'll also be routed to your local team, which is where you can really plug in and start getting stuff going.
All right, great. Well, I live in a very, very blue district myself, so this is exciting to to think about. I think a lot of us who live in very blue districts are like, well, I don't really want to move, but how do I get more involved?
Totally. There is a sister district waiting for you.
All right. Is there anything else that you want to make sure people are thinking about?
One thing is just that I think a lot of folks, new activists or folks who don't think of themselves as activists and, concerned people are sometimes wary of the idea of jumping into activism. It seems overwhelming and all this. But a little really does go a long way, particularly at the state legislative level. Like I said, sending 20 people out, for GOTV was half of the capacity for a campaign. And so even, just doing 5 postcards or making 5 phone bank calls, anything small, even something small can make a really big difference at this level. And so, I would encourage folks to try to do just a little bit, since it can go a long way. It's definitely not, you don't have to devote your whole life to politics or activism to make a big impact, especially at the state level.
Thanks so much, Gabby, for joining me. And I think this is a super exciting project.
Thanks so much. Have a great day.
You too. Thanks for listening to Two Broads Talking Politics. Our theme song is called Are You Listening? Off the album Elephant Shaped Trees by the band Imunari, and we're using it with express permission of the band. Our logo and all original artwork is by Matthew Weflin and is done expressly for Two Broads Talking Politics. We can be found on our website at twobroadstalkingpolitics.com. You can reach us by email at twobroadstalkingpolitics@gmail.com, on Twitter at twobroadstalk, on Facebook and Instagram, and you can support us on patreon.com. You can find our podcast on Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and anywhere podcasts are found. If you are interested in advertising on Two Broads Talking Politics, please email us at twobroadstalkingpolitics@gmail.com.